This is the Death Dealer, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
This is Trent Hammer, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Wrestling fans, if you want the best wrestling news, you want to watch Shotgun Wrestling Radio. This is James Jeffries, and tell them that I sent you there. Yeah!
Hey everybody, this is Brock Anderson, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
What's up, baby? It's Ricky Bronson, your favorite baller and beer drinker, baby, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Hey, this is Mason Grayskull, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Hey, this is Jared Thumb, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
This is Augustus Draven, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Shotgun Wrestling Radio. I'm your host, Zach Takis, and we are continuing our busy week here on Shotgun Wrestling Radio. And this week, thought it'd be really fun for this one because you guys have a pretty busy week. I'm going to welcome in at this time one of the owners of Madhouse Wrestling, Mr. LukeRaven. You guys, Luke, have a very interesting show coming up here Friday night. Now, I have a friend who lives in New York. He goes to these shows all the time in New York because they're pretty common out there. The No Ring Madhouse Wrestling show coming up here this week. This sounds to me like it was a total Malice conception.
Direct opposite. This was me.
Really? Okay.
This was 100% me. Malice was very much like, I don't know, because he likes doing the hardcore stuff, you know, that we do. But it was very much like a lot of times, especially for hardcore stuff, you know, the ring is almost like another character, or it can be used as a weapon and everything like that. Whereas with a no ring show, you kind of take that away. So you have to add that type of that type of intensity somewhere else through some other means. And so, yeah, Malice was, he was actually like, I don't know, man, can we, how are we going to do this? Especially because no ring shows have been shut down all over in Iowa, you know, within the last few years. And so he was like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, yeah, I think we can do this. If we stay within the rules and pay our money, we can do this. So this was a me thing. It was originally going to have a ring. Like that was the deal. Is Lefties had kind of reached out and there's like, we've been wanting to get a ring in here. And we like measured and everything. And like a 16 by 16 ring would be hitting the walls on either side. So you would have the crowd on one side and with the ring, because Lefties isn't a huge place anyway. For anyone that's ever gone to a concert there, like metal or punk concerts. I know I did when I was living in Des Moines. But it's not a huge place. And if you put a 16 by 16 ring in there, which our ring is 18 by 18, so it wouldn't even fit anyway. Yeah. But you when you throw that in there, you're just like, all right, we get 40 people. And you're just like, no. What if we don't have a ring, save space, throw some mats down? So like it's because a lot of no ring shows, like there's no mats. There's nothing separating you from the crowd, and it's death match. This is not that. It's more our typical show, meaning our hardcore comedy, you know, striking, grappling, just sort of our circus atmosphere. Just no ring. We just put down some mats where we've worked with the Iowa Athletic Commission very closely with it. We've been turned in twice to the Iowa Athletic Commission by different people who, I don't know, either don't dig us or don't dig no ring shows, or think it's a death match situation. I don't know, but we've gotten turned in twice, and we've had to like work with the commission. And if I'm not mistaken, the Iowa Athletic Commission is actually going to be at the show, which they don't go to shows. No. So we're special.
That's very interesting. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Now, when it came to like finding guys to do this show, did anybody really like hesitate, or did you guys kind of already know?
All of them. Well, that's not true. The ones that like didn't hesitate were Bogot and Lars Metzger, because they've worked no ring matches.
Right. Oh yeah.
Cole Cannon didn't. He didn't at all. I don't think Shank did either. I think Shank was like, yeah, let's do this. Oh, see, there it went. Pause. Let's pause.
All right, so getting back to, some of the guys that were hesitant about doing this, obviously the guys that you already listed who were not hesitant, don't surprise me one bit. Who were some of the guys that you really had to convince? Like, even though,
Well,
like, even looking at like the lineup that you guys have, though, I'm just like, God, those guys are going to be perfect for this type of show. Like,
I
I'm
don't know if we
almost,
had to convince anybody as much as we just had to explain the show. Like, people that aren't, because death matches aren't for everybody.
Mhm.
Crowd, promotion, wrestlers. Like, those are specialized. I love death matches. I really do. I think there is a great place for them in pro wrestling. And that's a lot of times when you see a no ring show, that's what that means. It means it means no rules, regulations, whatever, and it's death match and people are going to bleed and they're going to go. That's not what we're doing. But so we kind of told guys, like, yeah, it's no ring, but here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're setting it up. And they're like, oh yeah, no, that sounds awesome. So I don't think anyone really hesitated. I don't even think anybody said no to us. And we set the show up much like our normal shows, that each match is going to be a little bit different. Each match is going to have its own, flavor or uniqueness. Like Jimmy versus Clay, that one's, those are two guys that are very familiar with each other. Their series of matches that we had last year are some of the best matches we've ever had. And so to kind of put our best foot forward with this no ring thing, we're just like, well, let's do that and see what they can do without the ring, still put on their kind of show, their kind of match. And then we have, it was Max and Justin. And here's an exclusive for you. I haven't even been able to announce this online yet. And this is not a joke. This is 100% true. Justin was booked for both shows this weekend, and he had to pull out because of a bum nut. There's no joke to that. I know it's funny. And even Justin said it's a very Justin injury. It's a very Justin decent type of injury, which it is, but 100% true. I mean, there's definitely a lot more explanation to it that people don't need to know. But yeah, he had to pull out because of one of his nuts. So
shout out to you, Justin.
I asked him, I go, can I announce that? Can I put online that you're off the show because of a bum nut? and he said, yeah, right. Something like Justin Decent nutted all over this show, so he had to be pulled. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to put that. So, yeah, so we're working on finding a replacement for Max and Jason Wolf for the next show on Saturday. But we also have, like I said, Lars versus Bo. That's going to be like your
that's going to be ring. Damn good. That's
which I'm sure they did at Mid-Death at some point.
Oh God, I forgot about Mid-Death. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was saying. So like the ones that got shut down, that's one of the ones that got shut down.
Yeah.
For I don't know. Depends on who you ask. But and then like you have Shank and Cole Cannon, who are both very familiar with each other through Madhouse and more so APW. And I believe they're both on APW show on Saturday. And just the same thing. It's just like, it'd be a cool match for a no ring type thing. Like that one, they're just going to beat the shit out of each other. They're just going to hit each other. They're big dudes. They're just going to have a big dude match, and that rules. Mm-hmm. Hey, go out there and be, Hanson and Brody, Williams and Gordy. Just go out there and beat the shit out of each other type of thing. And so I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun. And then what I'm very excited about is AJ Smooth and Leo Santel. I mean, Leo had a great showing back at Convergence, which was, obviously a emotional night and show for him. But, when you see that show, you're just like, even though he had he'd gone through so much. You're just like, he can still go. He can still go. And so why not put him up against someone the likes of AJ Smooth? Because to this day, Madhouse is very much about opportunity, mixing and matching, not seeing the same matches too darn often, especially if they've been going on for 10 years. So I really think that having, someone like of AJ's pedigree versus someone like Leo, and Leo is very familiar with the venue. He's very much in the hardcore scene, and I don't mean hardcore wrestling, hardcore music, like hardcore punk music.
Mhm.
And a lot of those shows happen at Lefties. And so he's very familiar with the venue. So I'm very intrigued to see how he's going to utilize his surroundings, because I think he's the only one that's probably, I bet he's the only one on the show that's been there. Maybe Lars. Oh wait, Lars has a band and he's played there.
Yep.
So Lars is also familiar. So that's just going to be an interesting show. We've never done anything like this, and it's very much going to be a barometer for whether or not there's an appetite for something like this. Because it's been a lot to go through. Like I said, having to work very closely with the Iowa Athletic Commission to make sure that this show can happen has been a unique opportunity. So and they're, like I said, they're gonna have representatives there. So I really do think that it's gonna be a show that people haven't seen before. It's just gonna be a very, very unique experience. So I'm hoping it goes over well. I'm hoping people show up. There's going to be tacos there. They're going to be serving tacos out of a taco truck. They got a great bar. And yeah, for me personally, it's just fun because, like I said, I used to go to concerts there. That kind of crowd over near Drake with that kind of underground music scene is near and dear to me. They don't get different kinds of entertainment, so I'm hoping that this draws in that type of crowd, because that's my kind of people. So we'll see how it goes. We'll let you know who we replace Justin with too.
Did you guys think at all, since it is kind of a music venue, did you guys think about trying to get a band to bring with this show?
We did. We tried a couple different times, and we actually did talk to Lars about his band that he plays drums with, but it sounds like they're going to go on hiatus. And then I have another buddy, Aaron Hollander, who is the bassist for another Iowa kind of hardcore scene music, Skinned Alive, who is one of, like, Leo knows them very well. So it's funny because Leo and I's paths probably crossed, I don't know how many times, through however many different people, and we just never didn't know each other. And then when Convergence happened, I had so many people reach out, and they were just like, Leo? I was like, yeah, you do? And so we did try a couple different times, but honestly, the idea of setting up the band, doing sound check, getting the show set up, and trying to get everything organized for this type of show for our first one was a little bit intimidating. And so I think if there's an appetite for this type of show, and we have an idea of like, oh man, we could fit in a band a little bit better, here's how we do it, then I think what we want to do, I will tease for 2026, we are working with a national act to try and get a wrestling and wrestling concert going. If you've seen our socials from last month, there's a band that I love, absolutely love, and have for a lot of years, Vandaliers, which is they're kind of cowpunk, which is a combination of kind of like country and punk music. And Corey, his name's Corey Graves, not that Corey Graves, but Corey Graves. He plays keyboards, and you'd see him play trumpet, and like he does a lot of different things during the concert. He plays multiple different instruments. He's a huge wrestling fan, And we've been following each other on socials, and we're just like, yeah, if a day ever works to where you're in town, we're in town same day, we'll link up and do something, and have you guys at a Madhouse show. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, hell yeah. And so they had a concert the day before our Adventureland show. And I was just like, oh, this is it. This is the show. I was like, I don't see anything on your concert calendar for Saturday. Do you guys want me to put you on the list for Adventureland and get you in, and we'll do something in the ring, and then you guys can just like ride roller coasters the rest of the day? And he's like, yeah. And ended up, they had a private show in Minnesota. I was like, well, do you want to do something during your concert? Do something wrestling in your concert? He goes, yeah, absolutely. So before their show, Max was there and Corey was kind of cutting a promo to hype up the concert on like Instagram and everything. And Max pushes him out of the way. Don't come to the concert. It's bullshit, and Corey comes up by and hits him with a chair. Right. And so that's kind of the teaser towards during the concert, in the middle of the concert, they're getting ready to play a song. Max gets on the mic and is trying to shut things down. This isn't punk. It's not country. This is terrible. I'm shutting you down. He turns around, and by the time he comes back facing Corey, he gets stunnered. Corey gives him a stunner. And Max is in full get up during the whole concert. So he's in his top hat. He's in the Speedo, like the whole thing. And so after he gets stunnered, he lays down for the rest of the song, for the entirety of the song. And so like band members were coming over and giving him the boot. The fiddle player laid down and used him as a pillow and was like playing the fiddle. And then after the song, they pick Max up. Corey picks Max up and he tosses him into the crowd, which maybe we had a guy named Gable Galileo there planted to catch him, but the rest of the crowd didn't know that. And so they were just like, oh my God, he just threw him into someone in the crowd. And that's kind of the joy of wrestling is getting to do stupid stuff like that. And so that went so well. And Corey and I and the rest of the band were just like, yeah, we got to figure out a way to do this in 2026. Because they had like one or two more US shows before they went to Europe. And when they get back, we're just like, oh man, either in Des Moines or Rochester or Minneapolis or something. Like we've got to find a way to do wrestling show music, where we do. So we'll see how it goes.
And again, this coming Friday at Lefty's is 18 and plus. So sorry for all those under 18-year-olds who are looking forward to some deathmatch wrestling. You're gonna have to wait a little bit on that. So, but again, that's going to be a great night of action here this coming Friday at Lefty's Live Music. Showtime begins at 7 p.m. I'm assuming, like usual?
7 p.m. is doors open.
Okay.
8 p.m. is when the show's going to start. We have 5 matches. Nina's Tacos is going to be there, full bar. Yeah, just kind of a punk scene. If you're into that thing, I am. But even if you're not, it's going to be perfect for the wrestling fans.
And then moving over to Saturday, you guys have another big day on Saturday here at the Madhouse Academy, the Wineland Cup. I mean, this is kind of when I look at this show and this tournament in particular, it's a really great time for a lot of your trainees to kind of get their name and faces out there, because looks like a lot of big opportunity for a lot of those kids.
Yeah, it is. We're through 2 classes now. The 3rd class is going to start not this weekend but next. And the Wineland Cup we named after Cindy Wineland, who I'm sure you know and have met and conversed with at Madhouse shows or IPW shows, whatever it is. She's been one of our biggest supporters, best fans, and nicest people. And she's been going through some health issues, and we wanted to show our gratitude for her support over the years. And this was something that myself, Malice, and Clay came up with. We're just like, what if we just did a whole tournament and call it, the Wineland Cup, and City's going to be there. and we got a trophy. We got the whole thing, and yeah, it's good because Cindy's from around the area. She's huge. She's been huge supporters specifically of like Malice and Clay over the years, who are both just tremendous people. This is not me talking within story or storyline or anything like that. They're both very good people, very good friends, and the first people that when somebody needs something, they're the ones to help do something, or maybe it's just a kind word. And so when we all kind of came up with this idea simultaneously, we just knew that this was something that we wanted to do, had to do. And you're right, being that it's at the academy, we are able to give our trainees an extra show in front of a live crowd. I mean, tickets are $10. Those shows are very much like if we break even, we're happy.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're not looking to make money off of those shows. We're looking to give experience. And same thing as most of our other shows is that, it's not just our trainee going against another trainee on a match that they've practiced for 3 weeks, because they can do that. I mean, they can do that during practice and open gym and training and everything. You can wrestle the same guy, get a good match down.
And make fun TikTok videos.
We do make fun. Like that's
really
Clay.
Do.
Did you
like,
see the one with the Sister Abigail special? Did you see that?
Yes. Yep.
Do you know how many views that has right now?
About
125,000.
That's wild. That is just wild.
And that, like, Clay sent that to me right after he and Jason did it, and I was like, that's a sick combo. Like, that is crazy how he sets you up for that. I'm like, that's gonna be, I go, that might get some traction. And sure shit, like, we wake up the next day and I think it was up to 70,000, which I know to like a lot of people, like to Obadiah King for his other personality, nerdy, like that's nothing, right? Like he has 1 million TikTok followers or something like that. But for us who have like 500, that's pretty crazy. And there's another one where Clay does a buckshot hidden blade, and I think that one has like 60,000 or something like that. But it goes to Clay's effectiveness with TikTok, because Malice and I don't understand TikTok. We're old. But Clay understands it, and it also goes to show his teaching and training ability, because they're able to do this kind of thing pretty seamlessly. I mean, they practice it, but I mean, they're able to do it seamlessly and incorporate it into those Madhouse party shows that we do in Monroe, that, our trainees without having to be on like our bigger shows, which I mean, they were on our Mad Ventureland show, and they're going to be on our Rochester show and things like that. But they can kind of experiment with things like, hey, it went well in training, let's see if we can fit it into a match and do it this way. But again, they're going up against more senior guys. Clay's going up against TTKO, right? Like, these are more senior people. Mikey's going up against Jimmy Wild. So Clay and Jimmy, both former Madhouse champions.
Yeah.
Going against recent graduates. And Jason was supposed to be going against Justin Decent, but with that bum nut, he can't make it. So the winner of each of those matches will be in the main event for the triple threat for the Wineland Cup. And yeah, so Cindy's going to be there. Originally it was going to be on the 18th, but had to reschedule to make sure our guest of honor could be there. So we decided, all right, well, we'll do it 2 shows in one weekend. But what's great about these 2 shows in one weekend is we don't have to set up a single ring. One's no ring, and one's at the academy, so we don't have to move anything.
And those are the best kind.
Oh my God! Instead of having to be there at 3, you can be there at 5. Like that's way better, And for the 3 o'clock show at Monroe, we're just like, yeah, we're gonna open it at noon, and so get there and stretch and practice, like roll around, get loose and stuff like that. But I mean, we got a pretty sweet setup in Monroe, that building. I don't know if you've ever have gotten to go over there yet, but we do our own thing. It's $10 because we want to be able to make sure that people from Newton, Monroe, Prairie City, Grinnell, every Pella can come over there and spend an afternoon, not take up their whole day, and make it be affordable. Because you can't even, like, I know up here, kids' movie tickets aren't even $10 anymore. So it doesn't break the bank. We sell candy for $2. Like I said, we're not looking to make money off of these things. It's, you can't get $2 candy at the movies either. So it's good family, like those are our family friendly shows, good family friendly entertainment. And sorry, just a sec, there we go. Family friendly entertainment that doesn't break the bank and doesn't take up your whole day. So being able to do that for a community like Monroe, because that is where Clay's from. He lives nearby. Malice and I are also from a small town. Funny story, Monroe, Prairie City, Monroe, their school knocked my school out of the basketball districts 3 years in a row. My freshman, sophomore, and junior year. And the junior year PCM won state, and we had to play them at sub-state, which is supposed to be at a neutral court, but they set it up, like a month in advance. Mm. Oh, it just so happened to be at PCM. And I think we lost by like 6. And we were the closest. I think we were their closest game, even through state championship. So sometimes Clay reminds me of that. Because one of their guys went on to play for the NFL, Brandon Myers. He went on to play for the NFL. Do you remember Brandon Myers?
Yeah.
Tight end for Iowa?
Yep.
From PCM.
Yeah.
Our big thing was like, we're not letting him dunk. If we have to pants the dude, we'll pants him. I don't care. Like he's not dunking on us.
Now I got just a little bit more time here left for you. I know you guys got one more show on the docket here for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. November 15th, you guys are heading back up to Rochester, Minnesota at the Chatham Theater. What else beyond that do you guys really have anything lined up, or is that going to be your last show for the year, you think?
Usually that's kind of our big season finale. However, this was the first year with our school, so I think it's very likely that we probably will have a winter Madhouse party. Class 3 is starting, and we want to be able to get them, reps and everything, and continue to get classes 1 and 2 reps. We don't want them to go silent, go dark during that time either. Even though we kind of set them up, we encourage them to take bookings and things like that. I know like Jason Wolf, I believe he's already worked us, CEW, and I think Social X maybe, or maybe it was Absolute. I can't remember.
I think it was Absolute. I know he did a battle royal for them at one of the shows. I think.
Yeah, and so he's just a great guy. But I think it's very likely that we'll probably have one in between November and March. When we come back, we'll have at least one, if not 2. So, yeah, the Monroe thing's been really good to us. We're going to keep doing it. We're signing a new lease here very soon, so we'll keep having a place to go, and hopefully you get to come over and experience it, and see our little slice of wrestling heaven in the middle of Monroe, Iowa.
For sure, man. For sure. Again, Madhouse Wrestling back in action here this weekend. Friday night, no ring, no limits. Just going to be a barn burner there at Lefty's Live Music, 18 and plus show. And then Saturday over at the Madhouse Wrestling Academy in Monroe, Iowa. For more information, head over to the Madhouse Wrestling Facebook page. Luke, thank you.
MadhouseWrestling.com.
And Madhouse, yes.
Madhouse Wrestling.
Especially for information on training, if you're interested in training with the Madhouse Wrestling Academy. So
yes, absolutely.
Again, Luke, as always, thank you, man, for joining me. And guys, we're gonna be back here tomorrow with Jason Prentice talking Absolute Pro Wrestling. So stick around for that show here this week. And until then, we'll see you next time right here on the World Wide Web.